Hi, so in this video, I want to take you through how you can basically get a very clear, quick snapshot of how your business has performed over the last month, over the last quarter, over the last year. I would recommend that as an absolute minimum, you are looking at how your business has performed at least on a monthly basis. So this should be saying that you should block in a chunk of time, maybe the first week of each month, to look back at how your business has done in the previous month, to give you that real insight into what sort of actions you have taken in your business that you would want to repeat again because they've resulted in profitability. Okay, so yes, the information we're going to look at is historical. It can't give us a crystal ball of how you're going to do going forward. But if you aren't looking at those numbers, you're never going to have that insight. You're not going to be able to see what is working or not working in your business. And also looking back at how your business has performed allows you to prepare for certain things in the future, like your tax liabilities, like upcoming payments that you might have, and identify possible shortfalls. So let's jump into how to do that. On the screen here, I have a demo Xero company. And step one, I would say, before you begin this process, I obviously have not done this in this demo company, but is you want to make sure that your bank is fully reconciled. Now, I will have other training videos on this that you can look at, but let's just explain that in simple terms. When you first log into Xero, you are going to land on the dashboard, which is where we are now. Okay, this dashboard is customizable. It can be all edited and adjusted, and the layout can be changed to a format that you like, and I'll do a separate video on that. But what I want to really highlight now at this point, when we are trying to look at our business performance, is on your dashboard, you should have, by default, your bank account or business bank accounts. You might have multiple of them. So what you want to do as a starting point before you go and look at your business's performance is to make sure that you have no items left to reconcile. You can see that the demo company we have here has 29 items that still need to be reconciled. For the report to be accurate, that the report we're going to look at to show us how the business has performed, the starting point is to actually have up-to-date financial information and all your transactions fully reconciled. So if this is not reconciled, you're not going to be looking at accurate, up-to-date information. So work through all your bank accounts and get those fully reconciled. Okay, once your bank accounts are fully reconciled, what you can then do is click on the accounting menu here, and you are going to come down to the profit and loss. Let's wait for that report to open. Now, when it opens, it is going to default to a standard date range depending on the settings in your Xero. So it's going to default to your financial year. Okay, so if you know your year end is different to this, if you're a sole trader, it should be the 31st of March or the 5th of April each year if you're in the United Kingdom. If you are a limited company, your financial year end could be any day of the year. You need to make sure that it is defaulting to that financial year end that you have on Companies House. Okay, so that's for companies, sole traders. You want to see it having a March year end or 5th of April. Okay, and that's going to now, you can see it defaulted to a full 12 months. What you want to do if you're doing this on a monthly basis or quarterly is you want to change that date range. Now, you can select on the calendar the exact dates you want. Otherwise, the shortcut drop down will give you commonly sort of requested date ranges. So like you say, you want to see this month or last month, this quarter or last quarter, this financial year or last financial year. So I would highly recommend starting with, like we're sitting now in this example on the 11th of November. So we obviously don't want to look at November's performance because it's not a complete month. So we'll begin by looking at October. So we want to say, let's look at last month because that is a completed month of bookkeeping. Okay, so we're going to look at last month. Now, it can be useful to look at last month in isolation, but actually it gets a lot more interesting when you begin to compare to prior periods. So now what you want to look at what are you going to compare that with? So compare with 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. How far back do you want to look? That's going to give you that useful insight. So let's say you want to compare to the last 3 months, and we click update. You can see now that I can see that my business in last month made £14,000 of turnover or sales, and you can see how it's performed compared to the prior 3 months. Okay, and it's really great here. So this report you can really play around with and customize. You can, I'll probably do a separate video at some stage on how to customize your reports. But for now, I don't want to spend too long and make this too complex in terms of customization, because we can go into, you'll see here on the bottom left, you can click edit layout, and you can completely change. You can put different calculations, different line items, different columns, but that will be covered in a separate video. For now, I just want to really highlight how you can see that for last month in October, I can see exactly what profit I made, how it compares to the prior months. Similarly, I always struggle with that word, similarly, you can obviously change this to say, well, actually, my business bounces around quite a lot month on month. So I want to see it more smoothed out over a period. So for me, it's really important how my business has performed on a quarterly basis. So actually, I want to see how did I perform last quarter, so July, August, September in this example, compared to the 3 quarters before that. And so I'm not sure if the demo company is going to have that much data, like going that far back, but basically you're going to see when it loads now that we can then compare, well, how did we do this quarter compared to the previous quarters? How did we do this financial year, or how are we doing this financial year compared to last financial year? So that's going to look at your year to date. So you can really start to play around and get the report to give you that information that you're looking for, should I say. Okay. So what I will end off by saying, as mentioned, there's a lot of customization we can do other than just changing the date and the comparison. But I don't want to spend too long looking at that in this video. For now, I just want to end off by saying that if you end up with a layout that you really like you say, oh, you know what, I found this financial year comparison to last year, that's going to be one that I really want to go back to. You can say save as, and you can say save as custom. Now let's talk about the options here. If you just hit the save button, it's going to save it as a custom report. If you want this to become your default layout of your profit and loss, you can tick this. So that means next time, if I save this, next time I run that profit and loss report, it's going to jump to this default layout. Okay. Alternatively, you can give it a different name. So say profit and loss year to date comparison. Okay, and the reason why you might want to do that, you might not want to overwrite. You may not want to overwrite the default report that Xero has out the box. So when you go accounting here, that's in this drop down under the report section. That is your default profit and loss. And you may want that to stay there. I would recommend not overwriting it. But you'll see I've now saved this report in the background here, profit and loss year-to-date comparison. So where can I find that report in future if I want it? So if you go to accounting, you can see it doesn't appear on this drop down. So if we go to accounting report and open that in a new tab, you will come to custom now under the reports section of Xero, and there you will find the report you created. Now, what I will end up with saying in this video, as you know at the beginning, I said to find the profit and loss report, you click on this accounting drop down, and there you find under the accounting reports, the profit and loss. Now you can customize these menus to your liking. So if you want that profit and loss year-to-date comparison report to be readily available, you can just hit the star button, this little star icon here. Okay, what that means is any reports either on the custom page or the home page or any of the reports under this report section of Xero that you highlight the star is then going to appear on the drop down. So you can see now profit and loss year-to-date comparison is now there as a quick access reference for you. Okay, now this gets really fun because I'll probably do a separate video on it, but you can do things like if you want to calculate your corporation tax estimates, if you're a limited company, or your personal tax estimates, if you are a sole trader or in a partnership, etc., we can customize those reports with formulas and then have them as quick access reports so that at any point in time you can be like, right, how much tax do I need to have saved and put away to meet my liabilities? And you can have that as a report that you just click a button and it's going to be there. So there's some really exciting potential things that you can do here, and hopefully I've just given you a bit of a taste for that. Cheers.